Hi, today we're going to be demonstrating how we can easily enable a Mesos cluster to manage storage for persistent applications through the use of a software-based storage platform. Specifically, we will be using a Mesos framework to deploy and manage ScaleIO such that we can provision persistent volumes for the application to consume and write data to. As you can see here, this is the Amazon EC2 portal, and I have a standard HA Mesos cluster with 3 Mesos masters and 3 Mesos agent or compute nodes. In the Volumes tab, we can see that there are 3 EBS volumes that are already attached to the 3 corresponding Mesos agent nodes. These EBS volumes will be contributed to the ScaleIO cluster that we're going to be creating in a few moments. This is the Marathon UI. It shows us the number of tasks that are currently deployed to the Mesos cluster. As you can see here, we don't have anything currently running. To roll out our software-based storage platform, we're going to deploy the ScaleIO Mesos framework. This framework will imprint each agent node in the cluster with ScaleIO and consume the EBS volumes to make a single globally available storage pool. That pool will then be accessible by all agent or compute nodes in the Mesos cluster. Let's do that now by using curl and a simple JSON file containing the configuration to start the ScaleIO framework on Marathon. You can see the ScaleIO framework currently being deployed to Marathon. And now it's in the running state. This is the framework UI. From here we're able to get the deployment status for ScaleIO. As you can see, the ScaleIO packages are being installed. Now the cluster is getting created. Now the ScaleIO cluster is getting created. And the ScaleIO cluster is now being initialized. Now the resources in the form of the EBS volumes are being contributed to the ScaleIO cluster. And we're installing RexRay and Mesos module DVDI. And now we have a perfectly running software-based storage platform in the form of ScaleIO running in this Mesos cluster. Now that we have the capability to provision a volume from ScaleIO, let's deploy an application that requires data persistence. I've created a very simple, lightweight HTTP server in Golang. When the HTTP server is running, it's going to scribble some data into a text file every few seconds. What we're going to do is instruct Marathon to provision a persistent volume out of ScaleIO to house this text file. Let's deploy that HTTP server now by using a curl and another JSON file to Marathon. We can see that the web server is currently being deployed, and in the background a ScaleIO volume is being created for this task. And now we can see the HTTP server is deployed and running. Now if we go into the UI for the web server and open the text file, we can see that data is being written to it. It's simply writing a numbered line and appending it to the bottom of the text file. The next thing we're going to do is simulate failure of one of the compute nodes by terminating the HTTP server and then restarting the application. This will instruct Marathon to reattach the volume back to the application when it gets redeployed. And then let's go ahead and relaunch the HTTP server. The HTTP web server is getting deployed once again. And it's in the running state. Let's go back to the HTTP server's UI again. The application has resumed where it left off, and it's continuing to count and number the lines exactly where it left off. Thanks for watching this demo. I hope you found the video interesting. If you have any comments or questions, please hit me up on Twitter at @dvonthenin or in our Slack community channel at community.codellemc.com.